Have you been struggling to make consistent profits in the forex markets or not had enough time to analyze the markets and trade? At MMK, we have experienced and qualified traders who analyze the markets and send signals directly to your phone. We are highly selective traders and we provide 5 to 10 signals weekly and a minimum pip count of 1,000 pips monthly. Join the winning team and stop donating your money to brokers. Hi guys, hope you guys are doing good. We're back with another video. Hope you guys have been trading well and definitely killing this market. So I've been getting a lot of questions about BTMM and the combination of BTMM, supply and demand, order flow. Does it still work? How can you actually combine BTMM with some smart money concepts? Right, so I'm definitely going to show you on the pairs. I'm just going to focus on what has happened maybe the past week, so we don't really go far back in the charts, so you can see that these things are actually still happening, right? So as we all know, I like understanding my bigger picture, right? I like understanding my bigger picture from my higher time frames, right? That's very important. So I'll always keep an eye on my higher time frames, because the higher time frames will always be dominant all the time, right? So looking at UJ from the monthly time frame, we can see that we had a nice supply zone there. As you can see, base drop, right? Although we failed to take out this area right here, that area still qualifies as a supply zone, right? So that is where price is actually trading at right now. As you can see, price has been pushing to that area for a couple of months now, right? As you can see, this is a new year now, right? So whatever will happen here is very important, right? Whether this area will hold or if it drops, then that can give us an idea of the direction of this pair, right? So just by looking at this from the monthly, we can see that price is at a supply zone. Okay, that's a good thing. All right, so let's just move this over right here. Right, so you can see that this whole area, if you go to the monthly, right, this whole area from here is a supply zone. So as we go to the weekly, this is what we can actually see, right? So price has tapped into that supply zone right now, right? Price has tapped into that supply zone right now. As we move down to the daily, this is what we can actually see, right? So we had price, grabbing that liquidity there. Let me just use this. As you can see right here, right? So nice grab, as you can see, that impulsive move, right? Or that candle with much momentum rather, right? Above that area, still within, right? Remember, we're still within our supply zone, right? That's what you should keep in mind, right? So looking at that, then this is what we have. We had then price moving down again, making a move below, or a trap move below this 50 EMA, right? Now, as you can see, after this 50 EMA, as we go to the TDI, if you look at our TDI, this is what we had, right? So this was actually, it's more like a market baseline bounce, but in this case, it's a trap. As you can see, it's a nice M formation on the market baseline on our TDI. So that's also important. So we actually saw price make its way back up, right, with very good price approach to that area, as you can see. Right, so our supply zone was this area right here. See, so this is our daily structure that we're focusing on, right? All this is happening with us keeping in mind that we are in a supply zone, right? That's what you should keep in mind. We are in a supply zone, right? So moving down to our intra-week time frame now, which is your H4. This is what we have. I'll just get rid of this, right? So this was the supply zone that we had right here. Now it makes so much sense now, right? So this area, still fresh area, as you can see at the extreme, right? At the extreme. And what we can actually identify here is price then made its way back up to that area. So remember, we're trying to focus more on what has happened recently. What has happened recently. So by us understanding that this is a supply zone right here, and as you can see, we had a nice trap move below this 200 EMA, right? We had a first move up, second move up, third move up. So we can actually identify 3 levels up, let me just change this, 3 levels up, right? Level 1, another level here, right? And then the last level, as you can see, right, being very aggressive to that area, and then we started dropping, right? So this is just by understanding what's happening, just by understanding that we've got 3 levels up and we are within a supply zone, and right now we're retesting this area, which is a extreme area right there. And also this is a nice information within your daily time frame, right? So seeing an information in the daily time frame gives you an opportunity to swing, right? You can actually look for such when you want to swing, right? So as we go to the H1 time frame, this is what we can now identify, right? So remember what happened this week. We are going to focus on what happened this week, right? So last week, as you can see, we had a peak formation. This peak formation, the midweek reversal for this week actually happened on Friday, as you can see with the peak formation right there. If we look at our TDI, look at that, right? Nice move to that extreme, and then it just rolled over, right? Just rolled over. So that's also a nice indication there. So what happened after that? On the Friday, we had a drop, base, drop, right? So drop, base, drop, and this area also very important. These are the areas that you should keep an eye on. Why? Because this is a supply zone, guys. Remember, it's an order block, right? We can see, let me just change the color there, right? We can see aggressive moves to the downside. This aggressive move, as you can see, broke multiple structures. These are structures being broken, and then as you can see, price then made its way back with 3D, right? One of my best setups. As you can see, price then made its way back to that order block. Still very fresh order block, right? So for some people, we all know that after a 1350 crossover, we then wait for a bounce off the 50 EMA, and as you can see, it did not happen here, right? Price did react to it, but as you can see, if you had your stops around these areas, you're going to be taken out, right? So this is where it's very important to understand your smart money concepts, to understand order flow, because in this case, you would not find yourself trying to short here when you know that you've got a very nice order block here, right? I mean, look at that aggressive move away from that, right? And we also have got, we call this invalid accumulation, as you can see right there. And as you can see, price then made its way right there on a Tuesday, right? And then price reversed, right? So in this case, we had a sort of a head and shoulder pattern that played out here, peak formation type. But all that matters is understanding your structure. Very important, guys, right? Don't just look at your EMAs and then look to trade. So you can see this is where we had our midweek reversal, which was also a nice order block right there. And as you can see, price then continued moving to the downside. So if we can move down to our 15 minutes time frame, right, this happened around this area, and as you can see, when this midweek reversal happened, the blue tracer was inside. So this was a very high probable setup, right? Okay, so price definitely hit those stops. I mean, we can count 1, 2, 3. I mean, this thing still happened, guys, right? And also this happened at that that shadow box right there, right? Stop hand box rather. Okay, so the next day we've got a nice range, 17 pips, right? Of course, the stops are hit, and a nice M formation, right? A nice M formation on a Wednesday. So you had an opportunity right there to enter your trade, right? After a close below the 13 EMA, you had a very, very, very good trade, right? So the next day, yes, you had some intraday opportunities just by understanding what price is doing, right? Just by understanding what price is doing and where price is coming from, you had many opportunities, right? Many opportunities. So same thing here that happened on a Friday. As you can see, look at how price left that area, and then we also had, remember, 5200 crossover. We then wait for a bounce off the 200 EMA, and there we go. This happened during agent session, beginning of London, and then we had our second leg right there, and this all happened at an order block, and there you go. Not much of a movement, but you know, it will always remain the same. So let us look at another pair, maybe. I haven't checked this in a while. I don't really like this pair, right? But yeah, I'm just trying to show you that these things, I mean, this page doesn't really move well, guys. I do not like how this page moves. It's just all over the place. Right. Let's look for something that people trade a lot. Maybe Euro USD. Let us look at that. Okay. So looking at the let's go start with our monthly. Looking at the monthly time frame, I mean, we can see that price was actually reacting off this reset. So now we had a nice reset. Look at that, right? Look at the beauty of this. This is your monthly time frame. As you can see, towards the end of this year, trap, right, and then a nice second leg formation, right, that we were given last year there, and then the whole year this was dropping. So this is what I'm just trying to show you by really having a picture of your higher time frame that will help you make better trading decisions. Right, so as you can see, price has dropped right now. Remember, we've got a reset, right? Price is also already crossed 1350 crossover. So in future, I definitely keep an eye on 50 EMA bounce, right? But also one thing you should keep in mind, that price is down here. We've got a demand area, right? We've got a demand area right here. So this can actually be targets if price does decide to continue moving down. Right, so looking at the weekly, this is what we have. Remember, peak formation, level 1, so consolidation, level 2, 3, right? And this is all happening right here, right? As you can see, that structure, because I mean the demand area is here, so there, right? So as you can see, that area got broken, all right? That area got broken right there, so you will definitely keep an eye on this. So remember what I said, we've got a 50 13 EMA crossover. I'll definitely keep an eye on a 50 EMA bounce, right? So price can decide, yes, price can decide to just roll over from here, very possible. But what I'd love to see in this case is see price get to this area. Why? Remember, these EMAs are very important, right, when it comes to volume. So we've got a nice decision point type 1 right here, right? And we also have the EMAs lined up at this area. So an ideal setup for me would be seeing price get back to this area, and then we can then see price continue moving to the downside. So do keep an eye on that, guys, long term. But focusing on what's happening now, honestly, there was nothing worth trading here. All right, but one thing we could see was this, right? We had this area right here, which was responsible for the break of these structures down here. So price was playing around that area, as you can see, and we also had this EMA, the 800 EMA inside. Okay, so as you can see, first leg, second leg. If we look at our TDI, we've got that extreme, a nice one, right? That's a nice indication of a peak formation. Right? So as you can see, that's what we had right there. And then from that area, we've got a nice move down and another move down. This area very important, right? A nice decision point type 1, right? Did not really break much structures, guys. Not really much to the left that we can really, but it was an order block. But remember, you need to have a criteria of the best order blocks, right? You can't just trade anything. But anyway, this was also okay, because as Monday we had a mid-week reversal around Wednesday, around Wednesday, Thursday, and this was all because price made its way back. As you can see with accumulation, price made its way back to that order block. Going to the 4-hour time frame, right, it was a clean order block. Same thing that we identified right here on UJ, right? Clean order block. This one was better than this one, right? Because as you can see, this one was a nice, momentum was good to the downside. That says a lot about that zone. So as you can see, we had those reversals around that area. Not really clean moves, right? Nothing really happened. You can see we had some movement during Asian session, right? That was all because price had now made its way back where this happened. Remember, look at this momentum. Price then makes its way back there. It does not happen immediately, but then look at this reaction. It says a lot about an order block, right? says a lot about an order block, and as you can see, same thing, right? A nice order block there. That is where price played around with the trap Friday at just above the Asian box, right? And then we continued going down, right? So you can always big test this, guys, all right? But you just need the right knowledge as you combine smart money concepts and BCMM. Right, guys, hope you guys have learned something from this. I mean, we can go on and on and on. I hope you guys have learned something from this. Don't forget to check out our website. That's www.mmkforexgroup.co.za. You can also check out our Telegram channel. Do find the link in the description below.